welcome everyone to the Highball Podcast. I'd just like to point out that I'm changing the name from DCEU Podcast to the Highball Podcast because I always felt that DCEU was a placeholder name until I thought of something better. And Highball is Hal Jordan's name when he's a pilot. That's his call sign. And I think it's a fitting name. It's a name that still has a DCEU reference, but it's still a broad enough name that we could talk about whatever we want on this podcast. So, yep, that's an announcement I have to make. But enough of me yammering. Let's get on to the show. Back again here with Film Gob. He's decided to return again. Better audio this time. So, yeah, why don't you introduce yourself for everybody?
What's up, everyone? It's Shaker from Film Gob, back again with Lantern. And just looking forward to another discussion because a lot's happened over the past 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some big news dropped just a few hours ago.
Yeah, the whole Ben Affleck, he's out finally. I mean, there's some things about it that I can say, okay, it's you kind of saw it coming, but there was always that kind of hope, and there's a little bit of hope that things would turn out better, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling this was going to happen for the last couple of weeks here because he was wishing like Matt Reeves luck on the Batman, and I like nobody would do that unless like they're not really involved in the film anymore, right? Like you wouldn't wish other people luck if you were still involved on it.
Yeah.
So
because I mean, when he sent that tweet, I'm happy to pass the torch or something.
Yeah.
He says on the Matt Reeves' tweet, and you were like, well, does that mean like obviously it's going to be a younger Batman, but there's hope that there's going to be a movies set in the present day, so you can still have an older Batman that way. So it still wasn't very clear, but I think a lot of people had probably accepted that he was gone at that stage.
Yeah, and I just saw your recent video that you just posted like not even an hour ago with Game of Thrones and Warner Brothers intimidating Henry Cavill.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too soon, but I thought it's appropriate. I think it kind of lines up very well with how a lot of people feel right now.
Oh yeah, it was hysterical. I'm surprised you got it up so quick, honestly.
It was in my head, and it just the editing just comes into it. So
nice, it was nice. But I think Henry Cavill's still involved, though, as far as we know, as far as everything's going.
Yeah, that's another one I'm not sure about because all this stuff about him maybe appearing in Shazam, and he's might have filmed a cameo, might not have. Everything's still up in the air.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Ben Affleck's gone, what point is there to have this Superman, this Henry Cavill Superman? Because you can't really have this Superman and with a younger Batman at some stage. That's not going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense as far as continuity goes. If they even care about continuity at this point, it looks like we're not going to really get a Justice League sequel, not for like a while. And,
definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman's going to be the same. Aquaman's going to be the same. Who knows if they're going to replace Flash. But, I think Henry Cavill still would probably be fine just because, Superman doesn't really age anyway. I mean, he's always going to look the same. Yeah, I think they could probably get away with it, right?
Yeah. But another thing is that, I can't imagine Warner Brothers at some stage they would want to do a movie like Injustice or Flashpoint or something.
Yeah.
And at that stage, you might want to think about having a Ben Affleck Batman, maybe even a Christian Bale Batman, bring him into it. Maybe Michael Keaton. Who knows? They could go crazy with it. But
that'd be awesome. Yeah, cross universes, Infinite Crisis, do something that hasn't been done.
I was watching Happy Death Day to You. Have you seen the first one?
No, I haven't seen the first one.
So I saw the sequel today, and that's Universal Studios, and they have that kind of time travel multiverse kind of idea in there, and I'm thinking, well, they're doing it. It may not be a amazing. It's a funny film. It's a comedy film, but
Mm,
they are doing it much better than anything DC or Warner Brothers has attempted so far.
yeah, they they could definitely take a few notes from them. I
Mm.
wish they would keep going with that Marvel. I mean, not Marvel, that monster universe they had going. A couple bad films, a couple good ones.
Yeah,
Um,
I think is that not still on?
I don't know. I
The
think they
Godzilla.
totally abandoned it. I think it's unless they're
Right.
making a sequel to the Mommy or something we don't know about.
Right, that monster universe, right? The Dark Universe they were
Yeah.
calling it. No,
Oh,
they scrapped that. I think they're starting again.
yeah. But DC is kind of strange because like they have two super successful characters that were started like in Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman and Aquaman. They're big, they're huge successes now. So they can't completely get rid of everything they were doing. They just have to find some way to continue or do a soft reboot or something. It looks like Shazam's going to be a big hit. It's definitely going to be better than that other Captain Marvel film that's coming out.
Oh, that the Captain Marvel. She is meme city. She is like
She's
I've heard
ruining the
some.
film before it even comes out. She's killing the film right now.
Yeah, I've heard something today from a source, right? And
Oh,
I'm not someone who claims I know this source and that source, but someone's told me something about Brie Larson, and it's very interesting. Maybe I might use it in a future video. I don't know.
oh God, she's actually a man.
No, no, something about Brie Larson and our fellow MCU cast members.
Oh, she's not liking them. She wants Robert Downey Jr.'s spot. She wants Robert. You heard it here first.
She probably wants Kevin Feige's job.
Oh, yeah.
No, but going back to how the DC universe is shaping out, and remember that thing that Grace Randolph said about how Wonder Woman 84 was going to reboot everything.
Yeah, I remember she was talking about that.
What do you still think she's talking crap, or do you think might be some truth to it?
I mean, it seems like with 1984, they're not really paying attention to the continuity with Justice League, so it might be a soft reboot. It might be a different universe. Something's like resetting the time. Maybe there is time travel involved in Wonder Woman.
Mm.
It's all possibility. It's all speculation. I'm sure she doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like she knows as much as
But
we do, probably.
yeah, so I've not had a chance to kind of catch up with other people, other YouTubers, in our community to see what they're saying about the whole Ben Affleck thing. But I'd imagine everyone's kind of bummed out right now.
Oh yeah, everyone's bummed. I was trying to get people like prepared mentally for this because it really felt like he wasn't really gonna come back as Batman. This new Batman is gonna be the one they're gonna go with, unless they replace him in modern day, of course. But yeah, I was hoping people were like at least warming up to the idea that we're gonna have a new Batman and not take it out on the new Batman because
Yeah.
I see that shit coming a mile away. People are gonna just start hating instantly.
I mean, I can't like think about who a younger Batman. I mean, the thing is, I'm sure I heard someone say that Matt Reeves is not planning an origin story. It's just going to be,
Yeah,
it's going to be a very detective type, Batman and all that
yeah,
detective noir stuff. So, and if you've seen War of the Planet of the Apes, right? Um, that movie is so dark and it gets so kind of heavy when it
yeah.
comes to the kind of thematically and visually, and I just cannot imagine Matt Reeves making a weak Batman movie. So I think I've seen a lot of people bashing him. Like we don't want Matt Reeves, but like, come on, this guy's not going to give you MCU light
No,
Batman.
he's gonna give us something that's a little bit more serious and more grounded. I mean, those Planet of the Apes films, that was like the Dark Knight of fucking apes films. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he did a great job on that, and I'm sure he's gonna like knock this out of the park. I mean, he's a great director, and he's been waiting like almost like 3 years to before he had a
yeah.
good Batman script to even start this. So he's trying to do the best thing possible.
I wonder if anything from Ben Affleck's script is going to make it in, but I guess we'll never
We'll
never
never
be
know.
sure.
All we know is that, like, I think Jay Oliva said that Ben Affleck's script was like the best Batman script he's ever read, or something like that.
Yeah. Jay Manganiello actually kind of liked that post. He agreed with it.
Yeah, because a Deathstroke was probably going to be the villain. It was probably going to be like a big like Arkham Origins, taking on getting all these assassins and stuff like that. I bet it was going to be something like that. We'll probably never know.
Do you have any kind of idea who would you prefer to be? Like, who would you like to see cast as Batman, as Bruce Wayne?
Well, as a younger Batman,
yeah.
I really have no idea because Matt Reeves says he wants a younger face that's recognizable. And honestly, when those rumors about Robert Pattinson were going around, I was kind of thinking, yeah, that makes sense. He's like 32. He's recognizable. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows his face. And he's been doing pretty good in the last few movies he's been in. I don't know if you saw Lost Planet of Z, but he was in that film. Completely unrecognizable. I didn't even know he was in the film until I looked it up later. So, I mean, he might do good, something like that.
Yeah, he's done loads of good films over the past few years. I know people just see him as the Twilight guy, but that was just young actors getting their foot in the door, and that was the role they had to go with. But he did 2 films with David Cronenberg in a row, so the guy's doing something right. But I can't really see him as a Bruce Wayne or a
Batman. I see him more like as a Nightwing or like some kind of Robin, honestly.
Sure.
As a modern day Batman, if like they continued to Justice League 2 with like the modern, older Ben Affleck type Batman, but they like replaced Ben Affleck, who would you want to see in the role? Like a John Hamm type actor?
Oh, John Hamm, isn't he like closer to Ben Affleck's age?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if they had to replace this new, the modern day Batman.
All right, okay. John Hamm would be fine, but yeah, what's the point? It's like I know. Do you think Ben Affleck, he left because, I mean, obviously he signed up because of Snyder's plan.
Oh yeah,
the plan that Snyder had, but there must be more to it than just, it's not Snyder's vision anymore. So
well, he also signed up because they promised him a fucking Batman film. Like that's got to be a main reason why he signed on, because he was promised he was going to direct a Batman film, and once they took that away from him, like he gave them their Batman film idea and they rejected it, they kind of just threw him off the project.
But so when it comes to casting another actor in the same age, then sure, John Hamm's always a good name. But no, I've not really thought about it that much.
Yeah, a lot of people want like Scott Adkins, the guy who was up for the Batman role back when BVS was coming out.
Oh, right. I saw his audition tape.
I didn't like it. I didn't think it was that good, honestly.
I don't think I've seen him in many films. Usually it's like he's a side character in a martial arts type film, but I've not seen much of him.
He's been in a lot of those Netflix, straight to Netflix movies. I haven't seen a lot of them either. But like, based off that, audition, like I'm glad they went with Ben Affleck. Thank God Zack Snyder went with Ben Affleck. But what do you think about Zack Snyder? Like, how much role do you think he's going to have in this universe going forward? He's definitely producing on the next, 5 or 6 films. But, he had major success casting Wonder Woman and, Aquaman. Like, does, Warner Brothers keep him around because he actually made good decisions?
That's the thing. We need to know what exactly is Walter Hamada doing at DC and Warner Brothers. What is his what decisions has he made recently that we can say, right, that's his plan, this is what he's doing? Because I mean, Snyder obviously he's now got some time away now with Netflix, and he's making his zombie film, and that's cool and everything. But I guess he still needs to come up to Warner Brothers now and again. Discuss future plans for the DC, but obviously I guess it's Walter Hamada who's got the final say in things. But already they're kind of annoying a lot of fans with James Gunn with the Suicide Squad. What the hell is that all about? I'm like, come on. Again, another Marvel, ex-Marvel guy coming in.
You think they would have learned their lesson with Josh Whedon? Like, I would
Yeah.
avoid these Marvel directors. But I guess the only thing good that came out of that James Gunn thing is that we know they're looking for a director for Superman. I think that's like the only positive thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So obviously, Chris McCorry from Mission Impossible, he's off the list because he's going to be busy with the next two Mission Impossible films.
Oh yeah.
And who would you want? Who would you want as Superman director? Because there's not that.
I mean, there's not a lot of big name talent that would just come on and do the film. I mean, Peter Jackson, that'd be nice.
that would be epic, man. He's I don't know. I think he's kind of just he's happy with what he's doing, whatever he's doing these
I
days.
don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. I thought I saw the movie he produced recently, the Mortal Engines.
Oh yeah, was that any good?
It's a very weak film, but I mean visually it had there was nice stuff in there, but it was just a very weak story.
Yeah, I think Peter Jackson could use a comeback after the Hobbit trilogy. I mean, I liked the trilogy, but it definitely wasn't received well and everything. I think it'd be a nice, like, awesome comeback story if he like directed Superman. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, there's plenty of other directors. Neil Blomkamp, or whatever his name was, Ridley Scott. Get some crazy ass, legendary director on Superman.
I know, yeah, but I mean, it's all down to what do you think the fans' reaction will be? Because I know a lot of these directors are kind of in line with the mainstream idea of Superman and what Superman should be, and Zack Snyder kind of got away from that, and the fans appreciated it. Well, I think a lot
Well,
of those.
we know all those like 1970s Superman fans are gonna love, that. But like us hardcore fans, we're gonna be hating it, right? Because
Yeah.
like we know like what it can be, and it can be more than just a fucking Richard Donner saving cats out of a tree Superman. Uh, I mean, I hope they keep going the more grounded route, and we don't get something like Superman Returns again. I mean, we had them do a Donner Superman. It was Superman Returns, and nobody liked it. So I don't know why people want the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, when like Peter Jack.
All right, so technical difficulties, but we're back, and I completely forgot what we were talking about. Honestly.
Yeah, same here. I think we were talking about. I was going to say something about Peter Jackson, how that he would be ideal for, some whatever Snyder was also going to do. Like Injustice or Flashpoint, something epic like the New Gods.
Yes.
But I think we can forget about that as well because Ava DuVernay, she's going to be doing New Gods for some reason.
Yes. Brie Larson's sorority sister will be doing New Gods.
It would actually be funny, right? Because I said this. Well, actually, Shorty McShortbread, he said this in one of my recent videos. That it would be funny if Warner Brothers go, you know what, we don't want to make the New Gods film, and then Kevin Feige's like, because Kevin Feige, let's face it, he just reacts to everything DC is doing, and he gets his leaks from whoever the mole is over at Warner Brothers. The snake is.
Some guy with a baseball cap.
And you can tell that Eternals was kind of, oh, let's get our own New Gods ripoff. Let's get that out there first, ahead of DC and Warner Brothers. And be funny if Warner Brothers went, you know what, we're not going to make New Gods. And then Marvel is left with, oh shit, we have to make this Eternals movie.
Yeah.
But since the Inhumans was such a great success,
Did that even get off the ground?
that just ended up. I think was that not cancelled as a TV show?
Yeah, I don't think it's getting more episodes. But yeah, do Eternals. I mean, there's certain things that Marvel can't copy though, like Harley Quinn. Like there is no Marvel equivalent to it, and I think that's kind of smart to like lean into the Birds of Prey angle, because really Marvel's got nothing like that right now. You might as well be doing shit that they can't do, Like they're not gonna make a what's their Aquaman Namek or like Namor or something like that.
Namor,
Yeah,
Namor,
they're
yeah.
not making that goddamn movie. Like I said, DC beat them
I,
to it. They're not gonna make it.
Yeah, isn't the rights for that character? I think it's still kind of messed up. I think that Universal has some rights or something.
Oh yeah, I bet they still are working on getting the X-Men characters into the MCU. Is that gonna happen?
Well, I would imagine they would put it on, their Disney streaming site. They would probably do a TV show of the X-Men
Yeah.
and then go, oh yeah, it's still part of the universe, just like Daredevil was part of the universe, and that's been cancelled now with no kind of hint of him coming into the MCU.
I mean, it is sad. I liked X-Men a lot. I First Class, Days of Future Past, even Apocalypse. I really liked. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really liked where they were going, and Logan was also tied into that stuff. So, uh, I'm a little disappointed that now we're just gonna get like, fart jokes with Magneto now.
It'll be funny to see if they do bring X-Men into the MCU. It'd be funny to see who they choose, who they recast.
Yeah.
Because Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, he's like a legend to me, and a lot of people. So it'll be funny to see what happens.
Yeah, he wanted to retire though, didn't he? So Logan's his last one.
Oh yeah, Logan. He said he definitely doesn't sound like he'll come back in any way. So
Yeah.
uh, I'm happy with that.
Yep. At least you got more movies than fucking Ben Affleck. Shit. You didn't even get two full movies. You got one movie, and then you got half a movie with Justice League and a
Mm,
cameo in Suicide Squad. That's all you got.
yeah, unfortunately, but he still played Batman more than anyone else. Well, I mean Christian Bale, he got a full trilogy, so
Yeah, I think that's the only one. But goddamn, when's that Snyder Cut coming out? Should we give up hope?
no, I'm still gonna make the Snyder Cut videos, get the look for any news
Hey,
possible
with
because I'm
Jason
definitely.
Momoa getting excited about just getting excited out of nowhere the other day, that was kind of getting my hopes up for a possible
I
Snyder
know,
Cut.
I know, but the news came out. He might be starting in the Dune remake, the Dune adaptation
Oh,
uh, for Denis Villeneuve, and I think he's going to direct and produce a film about like a manhunt type film, a revenge western kind of film. So
that would be a
that's
good
I think
reason to get excited.
yeah, I think that was the main news. No, I think that's why he was teasing Legendary Pictures because it's going to be Legendary Pictures who are going to give him that chance to direct a film.
Yeah. But that first clip, he was in the DC office at Warner Brothers. I don't know if he was just excited because maybe he was like getting more Aquaman sequels, or that they were letting him go make his own movie with Legendary or something like that. So I don't know what the
But
whole deal is.
the, the whole kind of people getting really excited for it's Denis Villeneuve, it's a Dune film, and it's
Yeah,
like yeah, but look at what happened with Blade Runner 2049, and it's like he's going to have a great cast. I'm sure the movie's going to look beautiful. It's going to be epic, but it's going to be another kind of box office disappointment money wise. So I don't know. It's like normally it wouldn't bother me because I just want to see what the director does with their art and everything. So but it's going to be another film that you can say, well, same happened with Arrival, same happened with Blade Runner 2049, and now that's, I
mm,
guess, it's something else that Villeneuve is going to have to put up with.
yeah. At least he won't have to put up with executives breathing down his neck all the time.
Sure.
Hopefully. Yeah. What else do you want to talk about here?
I mean, we've talked about the James Gunn stuff, yeah. So,
The only thing about that James Gunn thing that really interests me is that there is a Superman movie coming. It's in the works. It has to be Henry Cavill. I mean,
yeah.
it's why Henry Cavill's been negotiating for a contract because this is what they're negotiating over, whether or not he's going to be in another Superman film. And I know they kind of debunked the whole, director's approval rumor, but I could totally see Henry Cavill wanting that and like not approving James Gunn. Like I could totally see that happening.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So I wonder. I mean, I know Henry Cavill. He's in the kind of Mission Impossible franchise now. Maybe he might come back because as you know, even though the Mission Impossible films, they are quite kind of they try to kind of be a little bit grounded in a way, but
Yeah.
I can imagine their Henry Cavill comes back as this even like this monstrous kind of villain, even more kind of deranged as he was in the first one and in the last one. So they could find a way to bring him back.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He can be a very cartoony kind of villain.
oh yeah. I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible yet. I know. I need to get
Oh,
around. I'm behind on so much shit. But I definitely want to see it. He definitely looked good from the trailers. I don't think they've ever like brought back a villain in the Mission Impossible movies, have they? I think it's always like a different villain every movie.
there was the English actor. I can't remember his name, but I know I think he's Irish actually. He was in the last two films, so they did bring him back. So that was the first time they've done that. But
Yeah.
I never got to. I don't think I ever asked you about Birds of Prey. Did you ever? Did you see the trailer?
Yes,
What did you think about it?
that 20-second teaser.
Yeah, teaser, I should say.
It showed nothing. It shouldn't. Uh, I I'm really excited for Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan. I want to see him in that movie bad. I think he's playing Black Mask in the movie.
Yeah.
So that would be a pretty dope moment where the fucking mask melts on his face. Like I hope they go serious a little bit. I know they're gonna be playing for like the Guardians of the Galaxy angle, lots of jokes and violence
Oh,
and stuff.
I hope not. I hope not. No, I hope they are
That's
kind of
the
a bit
feel.
more adult, than the Guardians of the Garbage of the Green Screen, as I like to call it.
Yes.
But did you hear about you've got that actress Journey Smollett Bell? She's playing Black Canary.
Yeah.
And did you hear about what was happening with with her brother?
No, what's happening?
It's in the news. He says he was attacked by. I think he's an actor as well, a
Uh-huh.
TV actor, and he said he was attacked by a couple of white men. They were Trump supporters, and he was severely beaten and all these things, right?
Really?
And yeah, it's in the news because at first I never realized. Oh wait, he's related to her, the brother and sister. So today I was like, oh yeah, they're family. So now the police. I don't know. I've not read the full kind of details, but there was some doubt about his story, his side of the story, about what really happened. So that's a big news story right now. So that might affect the kind of news around Birds of Prey. I don't know, but it's kind of troubling.
Well, that's interesting. I haven't heard about that at all until you just said it.
Yeah.
But
I think her brother's name is Jussie Smollett Bell. Jussie, I think.
yeah, I have to look it up on my phone. There's been a lot of crazy news about. Did you see that when those Trump supporters were like smiling in front of those Native Americans?
Yeah, I saw some. Yeah,
Did you see the full clip of that?
I did. Well, whatever they're saying now is the full clip, but yeah, I saw something about the guy was approached the kids.
Yeah, like the native, they approached the kids, but there was also these black Israelites like that were throwing like racial slurs at everybody the whole time. I mean, there's always two sides to everything for sure.
I'm like, I wish I had came to the US a long time ago because these days there's no way I would go over to the US. It's too crazy over there. It scares me.
Yeah, I think it's all a CIA psyop. I think they're trying to get people scared for no reason. They're planning something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you're kind of excited for Birds of Prey, but that's one film I would say that's the one I'm looking forward to the most outside of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I would say the Joker is still my top priority to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've like looked into Todd Phillips' his filmography, but his first film ever was a documentary about G.G. Allen. And
Really?
yeah, and that guy is literally the Joker. So I feel like Todd Phillips has an insight on this character.
Oh, wow, I need to. Yeah, I remember listening to a lot of G.G. Allen many years ago, so that's interesting. But yeah, Todd Phillips, did he not do the Hangover films?
Yeah, he did the Hangover films. He did War Dogs, and I think he did Old School, the Will Ferrell Old School film. So a lot of comedies, funny enough. But like his first film ever was like a documentary on that fucked up rock star. So,
And um, I recently watched High Flying Birds, which is a new film by Steven Soderbergh.
uh-huh.
It's on Netflix. It's another film he's done completely on the iPhone. He's directed it on, he's shot the film on an iPhone.
Wow.
It looks beautiful. The cinematography in that is amazing. It's like the film itself. I was like, the subject matter is very difficult to get into because I'm not a basketball fan, and the film's all about basketball, the association, agents and players trying to strike a deal.
Nice.
It's kind of like a heist film in a way. Very very Soderbergh, but so it's very hard to get into. But if you're into basketball, I guess that this is a really good film
What was the name
you
of
should
it
check
again?
out. The name of the film is High Flying Bird.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
I'll definitely watch that. Soderbergh's a good director. He shot it all on
yeah,
iPhone too. That's nuts.
yeah. His last film, Unsane, that was also I thought that was really good. And so this one again, yeah, it's great camera work and lots of amazing one takes, panning shots, good performances. So that's another. I mean, that is another director that I like who's doing something different, and Netflix is giving them the chance to do that.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see that.
So, what other movies are you looking forward to this year besides goddamn comic book films?
Let's see. Usually I'm on Letterboxd and I list everything there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to bring it up. Green Book has Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen, and it's based on a true story. So it was like a nice watch. It's even though it deals with some heavy themes about racism and things like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't kind of go far into very kind of adult territory when it comes to those themes, but it plays out very kind of straight, and it's quite a funny film. Viggo Mortensen is quite good in that. I watched Escape Room. This is like a new kind of Saw franchise. I guess they're trying to start it as a franchise. So it was fine. It was silly. It wasn't as gruesome as Saw, but it has some good ideas when it comes to. It was like the Crystal Maze. Have you ever seen that show?
I've seen that show.
It was like people, contestants, they go into these mazes and they have to figure out, they find clues and solve riddles and things like that.
Sounds like an
So
awesome Batman show.
yeah, in a way, yeah. Let's see. So I'll see Velvet Buzzsaw. That's another Netflix film that I watched. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal, John Malkovich. It was okay. It's like horror, but it's set in the art world.
Yeah.
So you get all these characters that are very kind of up themselves, and they're very snobby, and they get murdered by the paintings that they're selling.
Yeah. Are you surprised by Jake Gyllenhaal's movie selection recently?
Yeah.
Like I would not expect him to be like in Spider-Man Far Far From Home, whatever the fuck it's called. Like he does a lot of great films like Nightcrawler and fucking I bet those films you just mentioned are good too. uh
Mm.
but I it's clear he's just taking on like a big studio movie for money right now, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the movies he's done, like Prisoners, Nightcrawler,
Yes, Prisoners was great.
Nocturnal Animals, which was like probably probably my favorite film of like from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Okja, The Sisters Brothers, Velvet Buzzsaw. So he does these kind of small films. He's great at them. Spider-Man: Far From Home. It's a bit weird, but a lot of these actors, I think they'll take these kind of big blockbusters from time to time, and it's a good payday, I guess. So
it's a great payday. It's a great payday.
He's got a film coming up called The Anarchists versus ISIS.
Versus ISIS?
It's directed by Daniel Espinosa, who does, let's see what he did. He did Safe House, he did Life, he's directing Morbius.
Wait, he did Life as in like the documentary Life? Or
no, the sci-fi horror film with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So Daniel Espinosa, he's doing Morbius for Sony. But he's the one directing The Anarchists versus ISIS. A group of American activists join forces with a Kurdish militia group to help defeat ISIS in Syria.
It sounds like a comedy. It sounds like
it sounds like American propaganda, if you ask me.
I hope it's a parody. It sounds.
No, it says action drama.
Action drama. Oh my god. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting title. I definitely want to look into that.
But when it comes to the rest of the year, Gemini Man, which is Will Smith, I think it's like a sci-fi action film where he's a hitman trying to fight a younger hitman version of himself, which sounds a little bit like Looper from Ryan Johnson. So we'll see if that's The Irishman by Martin Scorsese. That's still to come out.
That's coming out this year?
That's what it says, yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know he was working on a film right now.
Sorry, what was that?
I didn't even know he was working on a film right now. He's already got one done?
Yeah, so it's been kind of rumored. Well, I think they have finished it. It's just a matter of time now for Netflix to kind of drop it, So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think that's on everyone's list. That's Quentin Tarantino's next film.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino is one of those directors. I'll see all his films in the cinema. I'll see them all as they come out.
Yeah.
There's a couple other directors like that. But yeah, him for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to his next film.
Yeah, so I mean, the cast is amazing. And especially Dune. I think Dune comes out next year, though. The cast is looking great for them. But what about Star Wars? What do you think was going to happen there? Episode 9. Yeah.
Oh, Star Wars. I really don't care at this point. They kind of killed Star Wars for me with The Last Jedi. I didn't even see Solo. But, Episode 9, there's only one way they could save it. And that's if Rey becomes the Sith and Kylo Ren becomes the hero, the Jedi. That's the only way they can save it right now.
I think J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio as well, since he's writing it.
Chris Terrio's writing it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I might have to watch this now.
So they've got a lot of hard work to undo whatever Ryan Johnson did. Because, if you look at Force Awakens, I was like, I know people call J.J. Abrams, he's a Steven Spielberg wannabe.
At least it was watchable. At least it was fucking decent and it made sense, at least a little.
Yeah, because he had to bring back old characters and bring in new characters and make something of it. And I thought he was a good start.
It was.
And it did feel like he was setting up, Poe and Finn for something bigger. And then in Last Jedi is just completely done away with.
Yeah, total misfire on Last Jedi.
But when it comes to other franchises, Godzilla, I'm looking forward to that. John Wick Chapter 3.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's the two big movies I'm looking forward to.
I'm a big Godzilla fan. Love all the Godzilla films.
I've never watched the early ones, the black and white ones, but I've watched the. I heard that was the 90s one, the 90s version. It recently got a
Matthew
4K release.
Matthew Broderick one.
Yeah.
That one is such an insult to Godzilla. The Godzilla looks like a giant T-Rex monster. It doesn't even look like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Very disappointed in that one. But yeah, you should definitely go back and watch those old black and white ones. There's something kind of charming about them, like because like
Mm.
all the acting's way over the top, and the Godzilla is just a dude in a suit, and it's they
Yeah.
built a mini city around him.
There have been some, like, I think a couple of recent Japanese Godzilla films. I think it was Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
Um,
It was out in theaters for like a week here, but
all right.
saw it was dope. I mean, I thought the special effects were a little lacking, but I mean, it still was a solid film and funny. It had like a few funny moments, like hysterical funny moments.
All right. And I know there's been a few animated films as well, so I want to catch up with quite a few of it before the new one comes out. Because I mean, the last one, the last American Godzilla film,
Yeah,
I don't know, it was a bit disappointing. Visually, it had some amazing stuff in it, but
yeah,
um,
that's the stuff I hold on to when it comes to that. Like, there's some great shots of Godzilla in that, and I like Bryan Cranston in the first half of that movie.
yeah,
I wish they kind of kept him alive and he was the main character the whole time. I think that would have helped the movie out a lot more. Uh, but
yeah.
I think the special effects were so good, and this new one, this King of the Monsters one, this looks epic as hell. Like you got giant ass monsters fighting each other. This is gonna be it's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely one to watch on IMAX.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I'm looking forward to for this year. But next year is going to be crazy. Next year is going to be. I was looking at a list of movies that are coming out. We've got hopefully Ghostbusters 3
oh
Ghostbusters 3 actually comes out, and that's coming out like the same. I think the month after Wonder Woman 84. You've got quite a few other movies, big ones. I don't have
Ghostbusters
the
three
list of
though,
it here.
like the
Yeah.
actual Ghostbusters 3 script that Dan Aykroyd wrote with what's his face? Is that the one they're gonna do?
Yeah. So apparently the whole did you see the teaser that they put out?
Yeah, I saw a little teaser. They didn't show much.
Yeah. But even just that teaser on its own was better than
The whole
whatever
yeah.
crap they put out by Paul Feig.
Oh yeah. I watched that Ghostbusters. What was it? 2016 with the
Yeah,
female cast. It was on TV. God, that's rough. Like
that's one of those, like, I've not seen it, but because the trailers were bad enough, and it's just like, come on,
I-
it's like one of those movies that somehow someone comes up with an idea in a meeting. And instead of it being shot down right there and then, somehow it gets actually made into a film somehow.
yeah.
And that was one of those.
It doesn't make any. The movie really doesn't make any sense. I mean, you should just watch it just to marvel at how horrible it is. I cannot believe it got past so many people. They must have been writing the script the day of. I mean, that's what it felt like. A lot of them felt wooden. Kristen Wiig, probably her worst, I think, performance she's ever been a part of, honestly. And it gets me really nervous for Wonder Woman because she's gonna be playing Cheetah, and yeah, I don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't like her at all in this role.
Mm. Yeah, like, Patty Jenkins. She did say, this movie is going to be, very different from what you expect from the 80s kind of, 80s set movies. It's not going to be just jokes. She said that, in her interview. So there's
Right.
some. I'm hopeful that she's not going to, you know, make Kristen Wiig look like a fool.
Yeah, if anyone could direct a actress, it's Patty Jenkins. She does the best at directing female actresses. And she look at the performance she got out of Gal Gadot. Like she has minimal acting experience, and Patty Jenkins made her look very good in Wonder Woman. So
Yeah.
she could probably do something good with Kristen Wiig. But that on-set photo of Kristen Wiig when she was like doing that cat face, I was not liking that. Did you ever see that?
No, I don't think I did. No.
Oh my god. If I
I
find
saw
it,
I
I'll
saw I
send you
saw
it.
I saw the clip. I saw the clip where she's jumping up.
Yeah, there's a shot down from above, and she has this like cat face. Her
Right.
teeth are out. It's hysterical. I definitely want Wonder Woman to have somewhat of the same tone it did in the first movie. I know Patty Jenkins was talking like it's going to be nothing like the first movie, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Because like there's some good parts about that first movie that worked. Why would
Yeah.
you want to like scrap everything?
After seeing what's happened with the DC movies, even though I did love, quite not love, but I did enjoy Aquaman quite a bit. I kind of go back to Wonder Woman, and I think at least that tone of that film I would prefer.
Yeah, it was in line with what came before. It made
Yeah,
sense. Even
so
like the
I
whole
kind of
Ares fight, the part that everyone fucking bitches about at the end. Like at least it made sense. At least it tied into what they were doing with like Man of Steel and BVS. Like that whole part where Ares is talking to her, that is identical to the Man of Steel scene where Zod is talking to Henry Cavill, you know,
yeah.
in the dream sequence. It's like it's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, I would have maybe liked to seen a little bit more of the Ares, the guy who plays Ares, like a little
Yes.
bit of his a little bit, of his backstory about what happened to him, and maybe some extra scenes, and that's about it. I thought the movie itself was fairly good, and
Honestly,
going back to it now, I think I kind of appreciate it a little bit more now.
oh yeah, definitely after watching Aquaman stuff, I mean, at least the dialogue in Wonder Woman feels more like realistic. Like in Aquaman, there's a lot of stiff, like clunky dialogue, especially like the teenage Aquaman. That's some of that stuff is pretty bad.
Yeah, teenage Aquaman is he's very meme worthy.
What do you mean she doesn't love me? Whatever the
You mean
fuck he
she
said.
executed her because of me?
Dude, I can't. What
And
was he thinking? What was James Wan thinking right there? There has to be something more there. uh,
that scene was very it's very kind of almost made for a Chinese audience. It felt like it.
yeah, yeah, man. That's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about the movie. It's like they almost wrote the dialogue so it was easier to translate to like an Asian market, because
Yeah,
some words are easier to translate than others, and some things make more sense. So, that's the only way I
but,
can
but
explain it.
it's worked because it's done quite well in China.
Yeah, it killed it over there. James
Yeah.
Wan knows what he's doing.
Do you think he'll come back for the sequel?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! He might have had a lot of difficulty making the movie, but now that everything's established, I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult to get back into the groove, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he probably wants to anyway. I don't think they're gonna be making a trench movie though. I mean, I know it's like that's the rumor, but there's no way that fucking thing's happening. There's no way.
I can imagine it happening in a way that's like, it doesn't really affect. Well, I know they say that they're going to play down the DC universe side of things and just want to make movies, but they could they say they're not even going to have the main cast from Aquaman in it, so they're going to have like maybe Aqualad and some other cats, kind of side characters,
I could see
spin-off
that.
characters. Yeah,
I could see them tying it into like a dark DC universe with like Swamp Thing and some other like uh
mm.
you know Animal Man, that type of stuff tied into that. I'd be
And,
surprised if
but
they go.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, oh, they're going ahead with the trench, but you've got Justice League Dark right there.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, you bring back Del Toro or give him as much money. I don't care. Make that movie. You've got characters like the Demon, Etrigan, and
yeah.
Constantine. It's like Swamp Thing. Come on.
And you don't even really need that much setup. Like honestly, we don't need individual films for all these guys. Uh,
Yeah.
they kind of explain themselves really. I mean, if they do it right, they could easily do a whole Justice League Dark film with Constantine, Etrigan, Swamp Thing, Santana, and it would probably be a big hit. They didn't need individual movies to set up the X-Men before X-Men came out. So like
Yeah.
it could be something like that.
Because that animated film was, I thought it was pretty good.
Oh
The
yeah,
one with Doctor Fate.
yeah, Doctor Fate.
That scene where he's talking about what happened, I thought it was hilarious. I thought that was great, and so you put that on screen, I think people would love it.
Yeah, because it's got that dark DC edge that DC's known for, but it's also pretty funny because it's outlandish that all these characters can exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of things that you can do with that property, and they're just letting it go by the wayside because Warner Brothers doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
But at least we've got some, DC animated films coming. We've got Batman Hush coming later this year, so we've got something to look forward to there.
I still have to watch Reign of Superman. I haven't seen that one yet. I saw Death of Superman. I have not seen the new one.
Yeah, Reign of the Superman again. Yeah, it's good. Good. Still keeping to that standard. Good action. Good storytelling. It's all there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it one day. I want to watch them back to back. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about here?
No, I think that's covered everything for now.
All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and stop right there. You want to tell the people where they can find you? I'm sure they all know where to find you, but...
Of course, yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Just search for Film Gob on those sites, you'll find me.
All right, and you all know where to find me. Lantern Alex on Twitter, and YouTube. You're watching it here. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Cease to resist, give them my goodbye. Drive my car into the ocean. You think I'm dead, but I sail away on a wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave. Kiss mermaids, rode the El Nino, walk the sand with the crustaceans. Could find my way to Mariana on the wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave, wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave of mutilation, wave.